Why is it in the black community we're celebrated when we get into trouble, when we're going away to prison, we have a going away party. When we come home, we have a welcome home party. Why are we celebrated? Okay. Now, I hope I'm black enough to be able to talk about this subject, because every now and then you'll get a comment probably from someone who's not even black. They probably live in Siberia and they finally got Wi-Fi service, and they'll comment, are you mixed? Are you this? Are you that? Here's the thing. There's a movie. A lot of you may have seen this movie. It's called School Days. It was directed by Spike Lee. It takes place in Morehouse College. And there's two groups of black folks. There's the light skin and there's the dark skin. There's a powerful message in that movie. We're like the only culture that still worries about that. If you're dark enough, or, I mean, if you're too dark, they call you an African booty scratcher. If you're too light, they call you a half-breed. I ain't never pay no attention to none of that stuff. And that's why I've done pretty well in my life. I don't worry about the nonsense. Now, there was also a commercial back then. Who remembers Calvin?
Hey, isn't that Calvin? I haven't seen him for a while. Wonder where he's heading. I heard he got a job. Is that right? Well, it's about time he got himself together. Now that you mention it, there is something different about him. Just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. Looks like responsibility's been good for him. Well, I'm just glad somebody believed in him enough to give him a chance. Wonder where he's working. Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you?
The old McDonald's commercial. He's walking with a backwards hat, and then he gets into McDonald's. All the people are like, where's Calvin going? Where's Calvin going? And then he goes to McDonald's. Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you? That is a powerful commercial. You want to know why that is a powerful commercial? Because people on the block and in black communities, you clown the hardworking black kid or black guy trying to do good. You clown him. We celebrate the guy who's selling kilos and then gets locked up for 30 years and then comes back to the block. He never left. He's still living on the same block. His mom is still living there, and he's celebrated. We celebrate the guy who comes home. I listen to some of these rap lyrics, and you know what? I watch some of these YouTubers. I watch some of these movies, and we celebrate the guy who went to jail, got locked up for doing illegal stuff, and then came home. But we don't celebrate the kid who's going away to college. We don't celebrate the kid who just graduated from college. There's never a movie with us ever coming home from college and we got an engineering job lined up. You want to know why? Because the majority of the black folks ain't going to watch that movie. They're not going to watch that movie. They don't care. They want to see the guy with the bad chicks pushing kilos, and he's got the Rolls Royce. He's got everything. They want to see the task force try to catch that guy. That's what they want to see. Why do you think Scarface is so popular in the black community? Scarface is one of the most popular movies in the black community. But we don't look at the message of Scarface. Scarface killed his best friend. Probably going to get demonetized for saying that, but whatever. He took out his best friend. He pumped poison. They didn't show in that movie how many people probably overdosed off of his product. He double-crossed people left and right. Took lives. Had a horrible relationship with his mom. His sister ended up being taken out over it, but he celebrated. I see people up here proud that they're home. Or I see these movies and proud that they're home doing good. You should have never did it in the first place. Let's keep it a buck. I'm going to say 95% of the people in prison who are black, you did those crimes. Because you would not be there if they didn't have any form of evidence on you. There may be like 5% wrongly convicted, but the majority of those people did those crimes. Because here's the thing, if you weren't there, there was no proof. Somebody can say I was somewhere doing something, but guess what? You know how much evidence I have that I wasn't there? My neighbors saw me doing something. My neighbor's Ring doorbell camera picked me up walking the dog. My Easy Pass went off at this time. I got gas at that time. I'm making a YouTube video and was uploaded at this time. I was on a phone call with this person. There's something called what you can prove and what they cannot prove. A person does not go to jail if they cannot prove that incident did not happen. So we celebrate the Jay-Z's. You know, he used to sell rocks at Marcy Projects. We celebrate these rappers. We celebrate these people, and we pump foolishness. You don't believe we pump foolishness? How many YouTube influencers have 200,000 to 500,000 subscribers that say, get a great career? Your career is your #1 wealth building tool. Keep low debt if you can. Low debt. Make money. The more money you make, the more you can invest, the more real estate you can buy, the better life you can live. But what have I said? Don't be the person serving the food. Try to be the person who becomes the district manager of that restaurant, that gets the stock options, that gets the company car, that gets a company credit card to, rations, petty cash. Try to be that person that comes and does the report and the performance on these other people who are working there. I'm tired of people glorifying the street life. I'm tired of people glorifying, oh yeah, I'm a good father to my seed. You don't get a pat on the back for that. You're supposed to do that. That is your obligation. You made that baby. Now that is your responsibility. If you're going to make a baby and not protect yourself, it's your job to take care of your kids, all your kids. We pat black men on the back because they say they're a good father. No. You know how you prove you're a good father? You prove you're a great father when your kids do not have a criminal background. My dad is a good father. I do not have a criminal background. My mom was a good mother. I followed the rules because my dad was there. My big brother was there. I had male role models. That is the reason why so many black men are sensitive, very sensitive. Black men are willing to go to prison for 20 years because somebody said something. They called them the B word. They called them a punk. So they willing to do 20 years, and then all of a sudden you see them 10 years later and they got a kufi on their head where they discovered the Nation of Islam or they found Christ. Why didn't you know him when you was out? We need to stop glorifying that street life. We need to stop glorifying the people who went to prison and jail and came home. Why don't we glorify the people who've been home, putting in work, paying taxes, being law? I mean, we really got to stop celebrating the people who go away and then come home and want a pat on the back because now they're doing great. And then they complain on how they can't get a job and how nobody will hire them. I've never had a problem getting a job, ever, ever, ever. One, because we've covered this before. My dad and my parents named me something normal, Larry. Number two, they taught me how to have respect and speak to people. I don't talk hood. I don't talk gangster. I don't keep it real. I go there with common sense. Hello, sir. How are you doing? I have qualifications. I don't have a high school diploma. Do you know how many jobs required a high school diploma and they looked the other way? I'm honest on the application. They looked the other way and hired me. I was hauling for Exxon. And don't quote me on this. I believe you needed a high school diploma to work for Exxon. I think at that time you did. I was working 2 jobs. I was part-time at the beer company and I was working for Exxon, hauling tankers. And anybody that hauls tankers, you're going to work every day with a straight flammable, oh man, I want to say the B word. You know what I mean? B word. B-O, that's all I'm going to say. If somebody hits you or you wreck, it is most likely a wrap. I believe you needed a high school diploma because I had tanker, because I had hazmat, because I had common sense, because I knew how to speak. They never even asked me about my high school diploma. And I always honest. High school diploma? No. Big. Ever been convicted of a crime? No. A lot of times jobs will look at that first. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Have you ever been this? Have you ever been that? I never forget. I even asked my DUI lawyer, I was like, do I got to put, I was convicted of a crime? He was like, no, that is considered, that is traffic. And you were not convicted of a DUI. You were pulled over for a DUI. We fought it and we got you a reckless driving. Because I was respectful, spoke to the prosecutor, spoke to the judge. They saw I was remorseful. So I still get to put, no, never been convicted of a crime. Start celebrating the people who are doing it right. Congratulations if you're on the right track now. Yes, you're on the right track. But my job is to make sure you don't go on that bad path. My job is to make sure you don't hit that bad track and then got to be remorseful and come off of it. A lot of us out here are trying to help you before that happens. No regrets, get it.